Cognac King, yeah. Cognac King, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cognac King. Cognac, yeah. It's the Cognac King, cognac in the culture. VSOP got the Henny in the back, we smoking. Ain't no time for games, cause I'm on the rise. 100 standard in the streets, I'm fucking certified. Cognac King, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Cognac and Culture. I'm your host, the Black Cognac King. I got a special guest in the building, my man Nick.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Tolson. Y'all can follow me on IG at ISPEAKDOGG with 2 G's like Snoop.
Alright, and on today's Cognac battle, we have Ferrand 10 Generations and Brisson Cognac. But before we start all that, y'all already know, take a shot with me.
Man.
Alright, so first one we gonna taste is gonna be Ferrand 10 Generations. This 92 proof, 46% alcohol. So I don't know what it say on the bottle as far as for what it smell like, but we gonna first, when I pour it, we gonna see what it smell like. Let our guests know what it smell like, and then after that, we gonna take it.
Smell it first.
Yup, so we're gonna smell it. So when you smell it, you're trying to smell what's the notes that's in it, you know, what it smell like. So
Dig deep.
when I smell it, I smell like a citrus or orange. What you smell?
Yeah, I smell like an orangey. It's like hit you real fast, orange.
Alright. So when we taste these, we're gonna rate these
Like
on the
candy.
melon. You said you smell some candy?
It's almost like candy. Right?
I don't smell no candy, but you know what I'm saying? We gonna see. So when we taste them, we're gonna rate these on the mellometer. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Put some hair on your chest, slight burn, or smooth like water. Alright, bet. Let's do it. I give it a slight burn.
Yeah, I agree. Slight burn.
Man, that's pretty good. Considering this is 92 proof, 46% alcohol, and most cognacs, as you know, is generally 40% alcohol. Alright, so this next one we're gonna do is Brisson Cognac. Alright, say it's been aged at least 14 years. Don't know what it smells like, but I don't say it on the bottle, but let's see what it's sitting on.
Boy, I already feel my body changing already.
Oh man, hey, you got one. He nice off them first 2 shots. Alright, let's see. What we smell on this? I don't smell anything but alcohol. What you smell?
This don't smell like rubbing alcohol.
Right.
Like for real.
Alright,
Alright, let's go.
let's go.
That was smooth.
I don't know about that.
That was smooth to me.
You say you get it smooth like water?
Yeah, that was smooth.
I give it slight burn in between. Maybe put some hair on your chest. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one was stronger than that.
Y'all tell us what y'all think. Make sure y'all put that in the comments. What's up, everyone? We here at Cognac Conversations. Cognac, of course, is what our guest picked, which he said is smooth like water. Brisson Cognac. So I'm gonna start you off like how I start everybody else off. Tell me your best or your craziest drinking story.
My craziest drinking story. I'm gonna start with this one because this one made me stop drinking for a long time. Stop drinking for a long time. I don't know, I came up when we was going to Palladium. You remember Palladium?
Yeah.
Alright. So I was going to Palladium. I went to the Palladium one night, and me and Ferrand, just the whole crew, bro, was just drinking, and they made this stuff called the Nick Mix. I'll never forget that.
We had your own drink at Palladium?
My own drink.
Oh man.
I wasn't even ready for it. Made my own drink, and I'm in Palladium. I got so twisted in the Palladium that I just couldn't even function, dog. So I went in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom in the stall, just in the stall, kind of just like trying to let this shit wear off. And when the security guards came in, he seen I was so busted that he just walked me out the bathroom and then walked me outside. This shit was early in the night, so I'm outside while the club going on. I'm outside just blown, all alone, drunk as shit. Couldn't get in my car because Ferrand had my keys.
Ferrand, why you leave that man?
Ferrand probably don't even remember this story. So I ended up just being outside the whole club night, just blown out my mind. But I was so drunk that I couldn't do nothing but try to keep myself together. So I don't know, the time flew by, and next thing I know, the club letting out. So everybody letting out. So I'm outside the club trying to find my keys so I can get to my car. Cause I was just ready to go. I missed the whole night. I was just ready to go. Everybody get outside. I get my keys. The last thing I remember is getting to my car, and I was about to drive. And when I woke up the next morning, I was in the house on the couch, and I don't even remember like walking in the house. I don't remember laying down. I don't remember none of that shit.
Who drove?
Man, at the time, my girl and her friends, it was all her friends in my car just with me. I came with all dudes, left with all girls. So I ended up getting home, and the story was, they found me outside, I got to the car, they get me home, and I tried to drive home. And I went to sleep in the driver's seat before we even pulled off. So they was like, they got me in the back seat of the car, and in the back seat of my own car, I'm driving. On New York Avenue, they said I was hanging out the window, throwing up, talking about the club like I was in the club and some shit, just being drunk, throwing out the back side of the window. And I got home and I just stayed there. And then when I woke up, they told me that story, and I went out to my car and I seen throw up all over the side.
Oh man.
I was like, damn, it must have been telling the truth.
They throw up for you though.
It must have been telling the truth. They left all the throw up and shit all over the car. So that was it. And then I just decided, like, damn, because I couldn't remember, like I didn't have no recollection of, like, didn't even think that I would be that drunk, hanging out the window. I stopped drinking for like a couple of years. like that.
Man, you know that'll make you stop drinking. But first off, I know who you are. Tell the guests exactly who you are.
Alright. So yeah, I'm Nick Tosin. I'm the owner and founder of ISPEAKDOGG. ISPEAKDOGG on IG. Like I said, Snoop, like Snoop, 2 G's at the end of that. I do dog training, I do dog obedience, behavior modification, protection, detection. I do everything from advanced to beginner obedience, beginner to advanced, whatever. I think I'm not the king, but I'm definitely one of the best around here because I've been to so many venues and I've seen so many sides of the dog world that, I just kind of put it all together and came up with the ISPEAKDOGG idea. So.
Okay. And so I'm gonna ask, what exactly made you start? What made you get into dog training?
Alright, what made me get into dog training? Honestly, bro, I was at the end of my football career, and I was literally just thinking like, I need to be doing something that I love. I was watching people have 9-to-5 jobs, they were just unhappy. No matter how much money they was making, they was just unhappy. And I was like, that'll never be me. I'll say that when I was in college, I said that when I was in high school. I'd never be the person that'll be working a job and be unhappy, miserable, coming home talking shit about the job, even though they pay me. So I took a chance one day. I called this kennel that I just drove by. I saw the number and I just memorized it and called them. And I called them, they were like, nah, we're not hiring right now, but if we need you, we'll call you. So I let it go for exactly a week. I didn't even think about the place. They called me exactly a week later, 7 days. I called them on a Saturday. They called me the very next Saturday. I was like, yeah, you still looking for a job? And I was like, yeah. Because I don't know if you know this, but I was living in Detroit for like 6 months. I lived in Detroit for like 6 months. Yeah, trying to chase the NFL. I was in Detroit playing in this
you
league.
talking about when they had that league that I forgot what it was called.
It was called the RPFL, Rivals Professional Football League. So I was in that job for a little while. Did real good, leading the team and stats and doing all my thing in football. But I just felt like, man, I can be doing this at home. You know, I got family and everything. So I go home, and again, I called that kennel. A week later, they called me back and asked me to come in to, see if I was interested in the job. The job was a dog bather. The very first thing with dogs was being a dog bather. Like I just bathed them, gave them baths, and the dudes that was doing grooming at the time, I would bathe the dog, they would take the dog that I bathed and then groom it and then give it to the customers. And most of the time I end up dealing with the customers because I'll be the free hand. While they cutting dogs, I would be the one that's just free and get the dog, give it to the customer. So I end up building a customer rapport, like started dealing with people, right? And I've done that in retail, but it's different with dog people, pet people. They are a special people. So just knowing that about them, the lady seen me doing that over time, and she was like, "You ever thought about training dogs?" And I said, "Nah." She said, "You do real good with dogs and people. You should think about training them." So I was like, all right, well, how do I start? And she knew a guy that had a dog psychology school in Silver Spring. I was like, all right, put me on. I called him, or she called him. He called me, and I just did like an internship under him. And I did that for 6 months, learned dog psychology. My very first dog I touched was an aggressive pit bull mix that had a 60-year-old owner, and she literally couldn't control the dog because every person he saw, he was trying to kill him. And that was my first dog ever trying to get a handle on.
So you never had any experience with anything with dogs or anything like that? You just went for the dog bather job, and then they told you was good with that, and then they told you should do the training?
Yeah, they were just saying that I wasn't afraid of dogs, and I could handle them on different levels because, I'd always owned dogs. It was always it was something that I just always had, no matter what. Even though I didn't understand him at the time. But when I got to the school, he was like, man, the only way you're gonna learn is through experience. No matter how many books you read, how many videos you watch, he's like, experience is the best teacher. So I'm gonna put you onto this dog. You athletic, you strong, you smart. I'm gonna put you onto an athletic, strong, smart dog. I was like, all right, and that's what he did. He put me on the dog. First thing I learned was how to teach a dog how to walk on a leash. So through that understanding of the dog, or how to reward, how to correct, the psychology part of it, it make it easy. It's like reading people. You can read people, you can talk to somebody, and be looking right in their face, and you'll know exactly what they on because you can read people. So dogs are like that times 100 because they don't have words, so they have no choice but to give off the energy or the signal that they're trying to do whatever they're trying to do. So if you can learn that, then you'll pretty much be in position to train any and every dog. So once I got good with that, he seen I was getting easy at that. He took me. He said, I need you to go to a show dog course where you touch every breed. It wasn't just certain breeds; it was every breed. So I got to touch the little dogs. I got to touch the big goofy dogs, the small athletic dogs to the strong big athletic dogs. And in that show class, I learned obedience training. So I learned dog psychology, and I learned obedience, and then from there I ended up meeting some dudes that did protection training. And I never forget the first time I saw the protection side of it, they had a high level of obedience because protection is an extension of obedience. So if I tell you to sit down, come here, it's the same thing if I say bite, search, it's the same thing, it's just a command to the dog. So I got into that. So I learned dog psychology, dog obedience, and then protection training. And I was still working at the groomer gym, so I'm dealing with dogs like full circle on a daily basis. And then from that experience, I saw that the dog world was pretty much the same, even in protection, even in obedience, even in the behavior modification side, the dog psychology, all the people were experiencing the same problems, but it was all due to lack of leadership. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, I could just start teaching leadership. But I had to come up with something that would make me stand out from the crowd, because it was, you know, different dog trades in the area. Everybody was so-and-so K9, something K9. And I just like, nah, I'm gonna be something different. And from that being something different, I came up with the ISPEAKDOGG thing, because again, I saw so many different venues of it. I was like, man, I understand all of that. And most people don't even get to see all of that. They only get to see one. They stay in one and they try to ride that out. I did all three of them. And then once I got that, I created ISPEAKDOGG. And I was like, it ain't enough, because the corporate world wasn't taking me serious. So I was like, all right, I gotta get in the corporate world. How I get in the corporate world? And that's through the contracts with the government, doing search, narcotic, bomb, apprehension, whatever that is. So I went to school for that. I found a school in North Carolina called K2 Solutions. And they teach you how to track humans that carry weapons. So they teach you how to find bombs that have been made and stored and hidden for a week.
You mean the dog can smell the weapon on you or something? That's what you saying?
Man, listen, yes. The dog is so detailed, they can smell any aroma minutes to hours after the person or whatever has left the room. So they that detailed, you can find a bomb that's just sitting there soaking. The odor gonna keep rising. The dog is gonna find it because the odor gonna soak up. So I went to school for that. I went to North Carolina. And in an 8-week course, I stayed there for 6 weeks, because in the 6 weeks, they were trying to get me to advance and travel to go to Green Bay, because I did so good in the class, they wanted me to finish early. So just due to my lifestyle and schedule, I was like, nah, I can't go to Green Bay. I'm a DC, Maryland, Virginia person. And not that I don't want to travel, but it just wasn't necessary. I could make the same money here in Maryland.
So I do got a question to ask you. So say if I was someone that wanted a dog, you know, I don't know anything about dogs. And I know a lot of people, they might just want a dog, but you know, we don't know exactly what to look for in the dog. How would you go about if you say, hey, I want to have a dog? What would you tell somebody that's saying like, I want a dog? And of course they gonna say, I want them trained by you. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, so I would tell that person to do a self-evaluation. Meaning like, understand who you are and what you need. You need a dog that matches your lifestyle versus a dog that just looks good in your house. So if you're a person that you work out, you know, you active, you like to meet and greet people and be all around crowds and stuff like that, you gotta be with a dog you gotta pick a dog that's okay with that. If you that type of person, you pick a dog that's scared of his own shadow, you won't have conflict with that. You know what I'm saying? Versus, or the opposite. If you're a person that don't like people and all that, then you got a dog that can't. As soon as he see people, he lose it. You know, that's gonna be frustrating for you. So I would say, think about who you are and what you need, and then go into selecting your dog.
So kind of get a dog that mirrors your personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So don't just go by like, hey, I think Rambo. See Rambo right here knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh man, I think Rambo pretty. I want Rambo. You like, nah, don't go by that. You need to go by. If you a workout person, you gonna need a dog that can handle that type of exercise. Or,
yeah, that can handle it. You know, most people get dogs, they look good, and then they get a dog. And again, that junk got a whole nother outlook on life. So, and then he's not listening, he's bad. And then they take him to the trainer, and the trainer tell him, oh no, it's you. Most people don't like that. So, you know, you got really, it's a real tedious relationship or line you gotta dance on with people when they come with these dogs. So it is.
And so where are you located at? So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, if I'm like, hey, I need somebody to train my dog, how would they get in contact with you, and where are you located at?
Right now I have 3 locations. I'm in Fort Washington, Maryland. That's my indoor location. Mainly I'm there daily. Then I have a location in Upper Marlboro for my competition and sport people. Then I have a location in District Heights. That's a full-blown kennel. So if you ever want to go on vacation, you know, travel the world, you can bring your dog there and keep your dog all safe and sound, feed him, do all that type of stuff. If you're a hands-on person, you want to get down to competition and get your dog doing agility and stuff like that, then I will send you to my Upper Marlboro location. private one-on-one sessions, people that just, really trying to focus and get whatever they trying to accomplish with their dog, I would send them to my Fort Washington location. So,
and that means just like the basic obedience, just people they dog just terrorizing the house. They just need they dog to be trained.
Yeah, just one-on-one stuff, behavior modification, whatever it is you need.
All right, and I see you got a book right there. Let's talk a little bit more about this book right here.
All right, yeah, so my book, again, it's not a dog trainer book. It's a dog owner book. So, again, it's not to be trying to teach people how to make their dog sit or down, anything like that. It gives different subjects or topics for dog leadership and ownership. All right, so again, we were just saying, if you're a person that wants a dog to match your lifestyle, you gotta know what type of dog to be looking up. Research and do the things that get that type of dog in your life versus just, I know somebody who got dogs and I just got this one because their father was a grand champion. Those are the reasons that people use all the time to just buy dogs, but not going in detail with the dog, their history.
Does that stuff even matter? So say if I'm like, all right, this dog father was a grand champ, does it even matter, or is that basically like meant for stud purposes as opposed to,
again, for that reason, people use the name to sell the puppies, and not taking into consideration, health things or character issues. That's really the main thing. I teach people to pay attention to the character. The character comes out early in the dog life, at weeks. So again, the I Speak Dog book, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it directly from me personally. I always keep hard copies on me. But you can go on Amazon, get the book, I Speak Dog. You can hit me directly on ispeakdogg@gmail. Again, with 2 G's like Snoop. And again, it's not a dog trainer book, it's a dog owner book. So just to touch on a couple of chapters that's in the book, I talk about puppies, puppy selection, talk about potty training, how it's not something you teach the dog, it's something you do with the dog. Name recognition, exercise, bathing. Just those things alone, you'll be surprised that so many people that already own dogs don't have a clue about. So that's why I did that. That's why I created that book, just simply to give, I think, everyday subjects or everyday things that people do with their dogs, some type of highlight.
Okay. And I guess my last question would be, because there's plenty of other things you could have went into. So I guess to explain why it is you do what what made you decide to go all into the dog training profession? Again, because I saw a lot of my friends and family being in positions or good jobs. They have good jobs, like not no regular, rinky-dink job, making minimum wage. They making good money, and they be at home complaining or at home unhappy and just frustrated. And I just never was a person to just put myself through things that will make me frustrated because of my own actions. So I just personally was like, nah, I gotta find something that's not 9 to 5-ish, sitting behind a desk type of job. And I was doing personal training. And I was doing personal training right after Detroit, before dog training. And I just got to a point, even with that, I started to see people complaining and not wanting to train because their muscles was hurting and things like that. And I'm coming from a high level football background, so that pain ain't an excuse to me. So when I saw that, I can't even treat regular people like this because I'm not a regular person. I have been through things and different levels of fitness that a regular person would think was probably crazy. So I was like, I'm just gonna find something else. And in the midst of finding something else, that Kevin came about. And I always liked dogs. I always had a dog, and when I didn't have a dog, I always wanted a dog. So it was like, I love them, or I like them, and so why not get into something like that dealing with them? And again, I encourage any and everybody to get into things that they love to do. That way it's not a job that you just frustrated with. Like, I get up every day and technically play with dogs. I mean, right.
you can't beat that. In my mind, you can't beat that. I play with dogs all day, but yeah, you gotta pay me for my time. You gotta pay me for my knowledge. I done went out here and learned and traveled and stayed away from home for months at a time to learn these things about dogs. So when I come home, I'm trying to teach you. You know, I take it very serious. So most people, you know, I just take it as I like what I do or I love what I do. So it's not a job. I love it.
And I'm gonna tell you, you know, somebody that I didn't see you go through this transition. I remember when you got to the dogs. I don't even know if you remember we had the conversation. I was like, you know, you gotta pick something, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say, I mean, you made a good choice. Like, I mean, I seen when you know, remember when I had my dog, you know, and we already talked offline about how it was, you know, the advice you gave me with the dog and to see where you at from even then to where you at now. I see all the growth, so you know, I'm proud of you, you know what I'm saying? I see all that, you know, so, you know what I'm saying, keep doing your thing, you know what I'm saying, and on that note, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say that's it, that's all we got for today's episode of Cognac and Culture. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and remember, cognac is not a red cup drink.